Sometimes on the front porch, Rob and Dave always had the light on for fellowship and making memories. We will try and make you stay the best it can be. Yes, life is good. Sometimes life gets in the way. It's hard to smile on the front porch, but our friends remind us we are still here and care. Yes, life is good. Southern Fried Podcast sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Southern Fried Podcast from Porch, talking on a Friday night. Y'all grab your coffee, your sweet tea. Get on up here. Let's chatter out. Yes. How's Dave doing tonight?
It's been a long day, but we're here and had a good pet show. Thank you, Miss Jen, for that. And rescheduled from the Wi-Fi issues, but we got her done. Winterize your pets.
Yes. Winterize your pipes, too. That's coming up soon, y'all. Just a couple days. We're gonna have to cut 2 Cornbread Nation shows next week. We didn't do one this week.
Yeah.
I was doing plumbing. Fat boys and confined spaces don't mix.
Life happens.
Yes. Oh. My goodness. So did you get in any trouble today?
Well, maybe. I don't know. You never know if you got in trouble or not. Somebody gets mad at you or something. You don't really know. Sometimes you don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
I kind of like it sometimes when people get mad at me. I have fun with that. Usually. Not every time, but usually.
I like watching how much Jen. Hello again.
Howdy.
I like sometimes I was watching a cop show, or like, it wasn't really a cop show. It was someone that gets a hold of they release those videos, body cam videos. I was watching one where these college kids were, and I think the officers kind of got their feelings hurt and went overboard some, but it was Steve just blinded you with his welding. I told you he's unsafe. But anyway, the officers were on a campus, which are officers, they're police. And they were dealing with a situation where these kids were drunk, hollering down at them, mocking them, making fun of them. So they start going up there. They're going to give them a referral, you know. It just went downhill. We'll just say that. It just went downhill. College kids drunk, thinking they know the law inside and out. But the officer got mad. He probably said things a little stronger than he needed to. Some, maybe not. I don't like dealing with drunks. But they lied and said nobody else was in the house. And while this girl wasn't giving her ID up or telling the truth, they put her in handcuffs. Well, all of a sudden, some dude appears in the door, and the cop didn't even see him at first. And he walks away. He comes back. The cop's like, "Well, I thought there wasn't nobody at home." The guy says, "What y'all doing? What y'all doing with my girl here?" Anyway, it went downhill from there. And he took a swing at one of the cops, I think. And let's just say he ended up in cuffed and stuffed. But it's funny how everybody, and it's important to know the law, yes. But some people think they know the law. They don't really know the law. But they like to tell everybody else that they know the law.
Yeah. These kids, they see those videos and they repeat what they say in the videos, but every state law is not the same. It's not the same law in every state, number one. Number two, those guys went out and researched and spent time to figure out what's going on. And these college kids are not. They're just going by what they saw on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube. You can't touch me. I'm a sovereign citizen. Mike and boy.
Well, they think that, like they thought they could just close the door on them. They said, I don't feel comfortable. My door open. I want to close it. You're not closing the door. I want to see your ID. You know, she didn't want to show ID. She didn't. She just kept, but she was drunk. So they were trying to give her a break, actually, and she ruined the break.
And see, I do have a little bit of issue with that on the cops' part. You know, if they come to a resident's home or somebody's home, you know, you do have First Amendment rights. You can say what you want. That even goes to vulgarity. And the cop has no reason, no probable cause or anything. And now he wants to ID you.
This is on campus.
Okay. That might be a little bit different.
Big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big difference.
I've seen some where they go into private residences and try that, and that wouldn't fly with me. You come into my house, onto my property, up to my door, and start making demands. I'm gonna show you the closed version of that door, and then I'm gonna call 911. I ain't putting up with that. This is not the Gestapo. They are not the Gestapo. We do not live in. What is on my shirt? You see that? Right there. It's got a hole in it. But we know we don't have to have papers to go anywhere and do stuff. If you're out there driving, yeah. If you're out there in town, yeah. If you're out breaking the law, yeah. But in my own home, probably not going to show papers. I ain't going to be rude to them. I'll just tell them like it is.
Well, if the girl had just kind of been if she wasn't saying bad things, she was just being evasive, defensive, not complying, and then she lied. She lied to them.
Yeah.
You know, because they were like 12 people in the home that were on a second story. It was like apartments, and they were, drunk and disorderly and hollering things down at the cops while they were trying to work a scene. Maybe they should have let it go, but I don't know what they deal with.
I don't either.
So all they were going to do was get. I wanted her name, and they were going to give her a referral. I'm sure they have to go before some board or something because you're living in their housing.
Yeah.
And she just wouldn't comply. So it went downhill.
Yeah, that's way different living on college campus versus living on your own property and in your own home. That's two way different things.
And she was trying to act like she was in her own property.
No.
They do have some rights. It wouldn't be that they don't have any, but it is way different.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'd say that happens every weekend at some college across America, probably many. Drunk, disorderly. And then, the dude, he come out, swinging. He took the ride.
Yeah. That's one guaranteed ride right there. Go ahead and hit a police officer. You're going to get loaded up and hauled off. Probably go get taken.
It's funny. They went to the wrong apartment first. So the girl is like scared to death. She's like, I wasn't doing anything. Well, where's your friends at? I don't have no friends. They looked at the wrong. They looked at it was right there, but it was two different doors. They went to the wrong door. and they're looking for 21. And she said, I'm 20. She points at the 20. And they're like, oh, sorry, our mistake. We apologize, deeply apologize. They felt bad
she's
about
out there bedded as a dork.
it.
She's
They
a
felt
nerd.
bad about it. They were like, oh my gosh, we scared her half to death.
And now they're aired it out that she don't have no friends and nothing.
I don't have no friends.
She must be related to Steve.
Oh, Steve's got friends.
He does. He has a special friend. The biting my lip. I'm not gonna say James's name.
Steve's over getting hammered on a Friday night.
Yeah, I popped over and give him a hard time. I got him running in the background, give a little bit of love over there. But
yeah, I ran some yesterday for him, trying to help him out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Jen I appreciate the pet show. We had a pretty good amount of guests, enough that we got 2 ads in. I appreciate that.
Wow.
And we had a guy check in from Southern London. He wanted to know if Southern England counted. I said, Southern is Southern. You dang Skippy.
Yeah. And it's a state of mind too, y'all. It's not just for the South. It can be for everybody. You're not going to be considered Southern, but you can still have a Southern frame of mind.
I told him we celebrated South Pole Santa. We're going to do that up big this year. South Pole Santa.
Okay. We're going to do it.
We're going to promote that out. We're going to advertise for that.
Yeah.
Tick a few people off.
So I'm going to have to rework some stuff on our show, our Love and Dare show. We was planning on starting Monday, but I've been a little bit down trying to get everything going, and Joe's had some issues. There's some scheduling issues, so we're going to have to revamp that a little bit. We're going to take next week off and get that revamped and set, and we're planning on starting the next week. Don't have an exact date and time yet. I got to get with you on that. Their son got him a new job and has changed his hours around, so they're having to keep the girls who are homeschooled during the day, along with all of doctor's appointments and everything else that comes after heart transplant. So
cool.
So we need updates. We need updates on James, and we need updates on Brother Jerry.
Jerry is at home. I have an update. His numbers came back good, and he's resting at home.
Good. Amen to that.
His wife posted about 35 minutes ago.
Outstanding. Okay.
I don't know anything on James.
Okay.
But who knows? He might be over with Killer Carl. I don't know if Killer is on tonight. He usually comes in on Saturday nights with him. I'm not real sure. He might not be on tonight. Might be. I don't know.
Well, I don't see Empty Pockets on. So
what I mean is he might be in Killer's show.
Yeah.
It wouldn't show him on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was glad to get that. His numbers came back good. Jerry's did. His numbers were way off. And he, she said he was eating better, but he's tired. He's resting in bed, though, trying to get rested up. He got to get back to cooking that meat.
Absolutely, he does. Absolutely. I cooked me a Boston butt today.
Folks, don't forget that, and I appreciate Barry went out there and let McCracken Post and Junior know that he finished the book and he liked it. Ken was at McCracken, or some call him Ken. He was at where was it? Collinsville, Alabama, I think it was, at a book club meeting. He gets invites all over to those. If you have a book club, you need to invite in the region here. You need to invite the author of Zenith Man. He's a wealth of information, a great guest. So give him a follow and buy his book. Definitely buy his book. Three Ravens Publishing. I've just started on the it happened, or it came from a trailer park. I've been in the first story. I was finishing up Zenith Man. I finished it. I've now started on the other, but give 3ravenspublishing.com a look-see, folks. And they got all kind of great books, and they're good people. They're good people from all over. We're going to be having an author show every quarter now with those guys, and getting them to talk about their craft. Another one, we're going to be having I'm hoping to do a Southern Fried Ghost Tour, Ghost Walk or whatever, Southern, and she's going to be on next Wednesday night, Miss Courtney with Southern Shadows, and here is their Southern Shadows, and but I'm hoping she's going to join the history show too and talk about the Battle of Chickamauga. Wealth of knowledge. Really enjoyed talking to her. But they've got on the back of it, you can see a little bit there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to do a Southern Fried one, paying them. Hope to get up about 10 people, and I'm hoping to maybe do a little live stream while we're out there.
I'm there. I'll try to find a way.
That would be so cool.
Do they just do around Chattanooga and local up there, or do they travel around the state any?
It's local.
It'd be cool to go to different. We need to reach out and find a network around the state here, and go to different places.
I'm sure there are people down there that do that.
Could you imagine Yavina out there with going on a ghost tour? That'd be awesome.
They're really great people. It's a new business here, and we're building a relationship with them, and I'm so excited about it. They're really awesome people. And then in Monday night, Miss Danielle Lohner, female dirt track driver, she's going to be on the podcast on the racing hour around 5:30. I can't wait for that. I want to hear her story. That's awesome. And then in the morning, don't forget Dave and Paul from Right in Front of Caffeine Addicts. Never know who's going to stop by. We're going to run extra camera too and see who we get on the street. By the way, in Ringgold, all the flags are up for Veterans Day. It's an amazing sight. If you've never seen that, we're going to try to get some video of that. All the flags that they do. That's a lot of work, folks, putting them up, taking them down. I think they get the Boy Scouts involved, citizens, volunteers. It takes a lot of work to put all those flags up and take them down. It's beautiful, beautiful. You love America. You love the veterans. That's the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. Outside of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is awe-inspiring. That's just amazing to me what happens there.
Well, on Friday nights, we do our Front Porch Talking show, and it's not Front Porch Talking unless you got a big old glass of sweet tea or a big old cup of coffee. And we like our coffee here at Southern Fried Podcast, and we have our own coffees, and they are good. Let me tell you, folks, you don't get more better than these. And I drink it. Dave drinks it. We have. It's starting to build up a little bit, and we got more and more drinking it. And y'all need to try it. It is good stuff. Over 40
My wife told me to go ahead and get some more pods, so I'm going to be making an order probably this weekend. She likes that house blend. I'm going to start trying to highlight a different blend each week because there's more than what you see here.
Oh,
but
yeah.
All these are great, and there's many more.
And there's also 4 or 5 teas out there, too. Also, don't forget about Mammoth Nation, an America First marketplace. Amazing company, amazing stores, amazing products. These are veteran-owned, they're American-owned, they're American First. There's a membership fee. Dave's a lifetime member. I'm a monthly member. But, that money goes to supporting our causes that we believe in and that we find important, not this woke nonsense. So support America, Mammoth Nation, support America, and vote with your wallet, folks. Hey, there's another one.
Yeah, Dubby's cool. First affiliate we ever had, and I have bought several things from them. Use Southern Fried as the promo code when you go to Dubby. .com. You can copy that address. It take you the same way, but just go to w.com and use Southern Fried. You get 10% off. I'm gonna tell you, they run deals every day. But if you like energy drinks, some people don't. But this is no shakes, no crashes, no sugar added. They've got all kind of really cool flavors too, and some cool merch items. Big with gamers. Gamers got to stay wired up so they can go play game.
What? And I'm gonna put this one here up there. Let's talk about Patriot Mobile there for just a second. American based, they're based out of Texas. The only Christian mobile phone company out there. They'll tell you God bless you. If you call them, you actually get to speak with a person that speaks good English. Might have a little bit of Texas drawl in there, but that'd be all right. But they are all about service. They're affordable. Hit that promo code cornbread when you go in there and you get your first month on us. And try them out. And you can pick your carrier and everything. It is great. So y'all try Patriot Mobile. And then we got the Podbean.
Yeah, our MP3 site, which really promotes out to the rest. I do go live there a lot, but if we don't go live, I take the program down, take it around, make it over into MP3, upload it again, and then it shoots it out to about 10 or 12 different MP3 sites. So, an untapped resource for us. We have less than 100 followers, but they're consistently downloading our stuff. But this is the greatest potential future for the podcast, besides the videos that we're still building up, and we'll just continue to grow. But the MP3 is huge, and we'll get there. We will get there. And the Hodge twins. Don't forget about the Hodge twins.
No, I'm not forgetting about that. I was warming up. Y'all see them there. It's the Hodge twins. We are now affiliated with the Hodge twins. Hit that QR code right there. Check out some of their great merch items. And Dave, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think we're a little bit better looking than they are. Almost as good looking as we are. Almost. People, y'all decide.
And believe it or not, we do have a new one. I'm still working out a couple of details with them, but we're in. But it's an Australian company called Fruit Hero, and it will extend the life of your fruits and vegetables and stuff. And there's some of it, you can get the big package deal. It's a little more pricey, but you can get the smaller stuff, and they guarantee their stuff. So we're going to give them a try. So I'm going to be having some samples in the studio, and we'll give it a look-see. Yeah, you need it, Jen. You need something. You got to stay alert. Them cats knocking things off the wall and everything else. You need you some W. I promise you it's good. I have a tub of it right here. I need to make an order. This one's about empty, but they do these mystery flavors. They do some really cool stuff. This is like a berry flavor, but they did a mystery on this. But they told us later it was like a berry something flavor. Man, it smells good. I just dumped the packs into the water bottle and shake it and go, just like a lot of people do. I love that. But I do buy the tubs as well. But they give you a scoop, and I just scoop it out.
How in the world did I do that? I put chat up on the screen. How did I do that?
I don't know.
I guess it'll be all right. Chuck's laid over here snoring now. I was the most annoyed cat on the planet. Every step I take, he was right in front of me. If he wasn't, he was running up behind me trying to get in front of me.
Yeah, Barry. We're just supporting them. We're not an affiliate or anything with the olive oil folks down in Georgia, but they're an amazing company. And they're in a lot of stores, but you can order it through the mail. That's what I did, because I'm not sure that it reaches all the way up here. So I just ordered it.
They are available on Amazon now. I ordered my last one. I ordered from Amazon, so you can get it through Amazon now.
It's reasonable. It's not bad. I know how everybody is. Money's tight. I get it.
Yes,
But you
it is.
can find deals even among our affiliates. Look for deals. I get it. Got to have some deals. Times are tough.
Yeah. And these times when it is tough like this, hey, y'all, everybody, everybody has this thing. Are you all right? And everybody says, well, yeah, I'm fine. Are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm making do. Check with your neighbors. Check on your neighbors. Check on your friends. Make sure they really are doing all right, because they're going to tell you they're doing all right, whether they are or not. You know, it's there are some people out there that'll say, well, no, I'm not. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of pride there when people are struggling. Make sure they're doing all right. They'll know it's okay. You know, and this is when when times are rough like this is where we need to extend a hand and an ear and a mouth and help our neighbors out and our friends and family and everything. That's important. You know, and these knuckleheads up there. I mean, how many federal employees are not getting paid right now? You know, how many people aren't getting their SNAP? That depend on them. You know, you know, some you hear some disgusting stories out there, but a lot of people actually they need that. They need it, and you know, yeah, it's like the horror story I heard the other day. Well, and it was a lady on there. She was screaming, yelling. Well, it's y'all's responsibility, the taxpayers' responsibility to help me feed my kids. That's your responsibility to help me with that. I got 7 different baby daddy, and I ain't none of them doing nothing for me. Yeah, it's hard to have a lot of sympathy for that, but my goodness. Oh, that wasn't very nice, Jim. Look, this started here a while back, and it wasn't very nice. And I don't know if that was you just texting me or not. It wasn't very nice. I was fixing to get the butt out of there. Uh, Animal Rescue Alliance in Donaldsonville, Georgia. There's the phone number there on the screen if you want to make a donation. For every dollar you donate, Chuck gets one more night in the bedroom. And I haven't got to kick his little orange butt out yet. He's a little, and he is so annoying. But it's going to a good cause. There are no-kill animal shelter located down here in between Miller and Seminole County, between Colquitt and Donaldsonville. If you're in the area down here, or even as far as Atlanta, they've had people drive down here from all over the place to support them and get their pets from there. They have dogs and cats. Look, a reasonable fee, and that fee and I mean it's very reasonable. When you get them, they're neutered. They are up to date on shots. They've been treated for ticks and fleas, ear mites, everything, and they are healthy animals. And cats and dogs, they're all treated. And you would spend a lot more than that if you went to the vet to have that done, especially the spay and neuter. Go by to look at them first. If you're thinking about getting a dog or a cat, go by Animal Rescue Alliance. They're right here on 91 in between Talkin and Knoxville. Go check them out.
And up here, check out McCamey as well. They do a lot of good work up here in the Chattanooga area. And in Jen's area, we got Floyd Felines, among others that are there that need help too.
Yes. And I know right now it's hard. It's hard to reach down in that pocket and pull money out. But, if it doesn't hurt to give, are you really giving? I'm not telling people to go hungry, trying to keep these other guys up and keep this stuff going. But, I am saying that, help if you can. And that's what they're asking for. If you can help, help. So,
yeah, help Chuck stay in the bedroom. Floyd Felines, that's right. Hey, I saw this thing. It's not very in depth, but I thought we'd share it tonight and get the consensus. It is, according to one group, they say it is the top 10 names for each boys and girls just released. Kind of interesting, I think. So I'll throw one for the girl, one for the boys out there, and we'll work through the list and see if you like them. Thumbs up, thumbs down. But this is the most, this is what people are naming their kids. This is the most. They got the most votes. Or that's looking at records and stuff. For a boy, number one they've got here is Noah. Oh, that's a pretty traditional name. I know some kids that are Noahs. I like the name. It's biblical. I give it a thumbs up. What do y'all say?
I'll give that one a thumbs up.
Noah's not bad.
Yeah.
For the girl, Olivia.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Olivia name. Sounds too much like olive oil to me.
I kind of like that one. There's someone here I don't care for as much, but that's an older name too. Really, that's been around a long time. But Olivia, I'm not big on boys. Number two out of the top 10 here, Liam. I guess you say Liam. Liam. I'm not big on that name.
Liam. Liam.
Or Liam, whatever you say.
Yeah. Liam Neeson's made that name famous, and I like the actor Liam Neeson. But I don't know if I'd want to name my son Liam or not. I mean, it sounds too much like Liam, So you don't want him to get confused when you send him to get a Liam to get a whooping. And we down here in the South, we overpronounce everything. You go get a Liam, and I'm gonna whoop your butt, Liam.
I would not use that one, but that's me. But a lot of it's popular of us. It's number 2 on the list for the boys. Number 2 for the girls is Amelia. Amelia.
I don't mind Amelia. I mean, I'm kind of neutral on it. Amelia's a pretty name. I mean, I can handle that.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm kind of middle. It's fine.
Yeah.
But there are names I like more. It wouldn't be my number 2, but it's a good name.
Yeah.
By the way, if we've said your name, don't take that personal. Jen says it's a pretty name.
Okay.
Number 3 for the boys is Oliver. I would not name my son Oliver either.
Sounds much like olive oil.
I'm just going to have to say I'm not a fan of that one. Never have been.
But then everybody could call him Ollie.
I'm not a fan of that either. I nothing against it. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan of Oliver. Okay. Oliver Twist. Oh.
Oliver Cottonseed. Oh wait, that was Johnny.
Yeah. I wonder if people that have the name Oliver actually go by their middle name.
That would probably be the worst name in the world for a guy. Oliver Sue.
Oh, Jen's giving thumbs down.
You don't like Oliver?
Your date's here. Oliver's here. Oliver sounds like a bank manager or an accountant.
I was thinking like he might belong on sounds like to me like he might belong on a sex offender registry or somewhere. I don't know.
Rob, dang,
what?
Man.
What? Sounds like.
Man.
What?
That's rough.
At least I didn't say like it sounded like he needs to be in Alabama. Ugh.
Wow.
Oh, I'm a rare four tonight.
Number 4 for the girls is Emma. I'm okay with that. Emma sounds like a school teacher.
Well, there's been a lot of Emma movies or characters in movies named Emma, and a lot of the British type movies, and girls are just gaga about that type of movie, the old romance and stuff like that. So yeah, Emma's going to be pretty popular, and this is the most popular where in the United States.
Yeah.
Wow. What about all the Roberts and Davids and Johns and?
They're not on this list. They didn't make the top 10. The world is a changing place. Number, which one am I at? 4 for the guys.
5. The one just after Oliver.
5. I do not like this name at all. Mateo.
Huh?
Mateo. Mateo.
What? How is that more popular than Robert, David?
It's
Donald?
more popular because more people have named their kid that. I would say.
Why would you name your kid Mateo?
Honestly,
like
I think this is the Hispanic influence. That's big in Hispanic naming.
No.
And I believe that Jen's a no.
I think we're all 3 no's on that one.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
Number 5 for the girls, Isabella.
Isabella's okay.
Sounds like a witch apprentice, but yeah, it's a pretty name.
A witch apprentice? Did I say witch apprentice?
Witch apprentice.
I think I said witch apprentice. Yeah.
Spellcaster.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. It's pretty nice. I wouldn't call her a witch apprentice though.
Number 6 for the boys, Levi. Very old name. Biblical.
Also biblical.
I'm okay with Levi.
I'm okay with Levi too. I don't know if I'd want to name my child that. I like to chew Levi sometimes, but I don't think I'd want to name my child that. Levi Garrett.
You know. It's that priestly kind of name. People like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty traditional name here. Number 6 for the girls, Charlotte or Charlotte.
Now wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Charlotte made the girls list?
Yep. Again, that's probably Hispanic influence. It's always been a good name here, but Charlotte, that's very much used in that. I would think. I don't know.
I would never name my daughter Charlotte, because in that book and in the movie, Charlotte's Web, number 1 pig. I couldn't name my daughter that. She'd be, oh my gosh, no.
Hello, Mike Rebel, podcaster himself.
Hi, Mike.
Puts out a lot of videos on the Instagram side. God bless you.
Yes.
Number 7 for the boys definitely is big here. Has been for a long time. I think it also is very big in Hispanic community. Lucas. I'm okay with Lucas.
Lucas be more like a middle name.
A what?
A middle name.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, Barry. Let me finish this list. We'll come in and we'll talk about that. He's still out there. We'll talk about it. Let's get through the list. I'm okay with Lucas.
Sounds like Lucas.
Number 7 for the girls is Elena. Elena.
Okay. We had Isabella. Now we got Elena. What's wrong with Isabel? What's wrong with Ellen? Well, you always got to put like a L or a at the end of it. You know, Elaine, Isabel, yeah. Just say it. It's okay. Jen says it's okay too.
Number 8 for the boys, Ezra.
Another biblical. But you know, and Ezra's a good name. I can be okay with Ezra. You know,
I'm okay with it. I don't know that
Jen
I
says
would
no.
name my son that, but I'm okay with that. Number 8 for the girls, Ellie. Ellie.
No, not just no. Heck no. No, Ellie. Ugh. No. Ugh. No.
Well, that was big in Andy Griffith's show.
I don't care. At least they put her middle name in her, Ellie Mae. That was Clampett's.
That was, Beverly Hillbillies. All right. Number 9 for the boys, Asher. Biblical name, one of the tribes.
I could be okay with Asher. It's not my number one choice, but I can be okay with Asher.
Number 9 for the girls, Aurora.
No.
Aurora.
This is a spatial anomaly. You're basically calling her a space cadet. No. What part of Alabama are you from, Aurora? Where they do the space camp stuff. Where is that?
Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah. Where you from, Aurora? Huntsville, Alabama. I'm gonna smile real pretty from my picture, Mama, so everybody can see my tooth.
All right. Last one for the boys, Luca. Luca.
No. Don't like it. No.
And number 10 for the girls, Mia.
No.
And I know someone whose daughter is named Mia. It's a very, very popular name. I hear it a lot. Mamma Mia.
No.
Those are the top 10 names for boys and girls that are being named in the United States right now.
Well, the names of our children is going downhill. That's got to be what's wrong with this country right now. It's going downhill. We got to get some good names going. I mean, you know, I started to name Chuck Norris, my cat. I started to name him Dang It. That's not the exact word, but you know, dang it, because you know, dang it, get out of the way. Dang it, stop scratching that. Dang it, stop eating. You know, it would just fit, and it would really, really fit now. You know, but what happened to Bo, Luke, Roscoe, Enos?
Well, if you did a poll in your town, it might be different, but across the United States, that's the names.
Oh.
By the way, Barret, excuse me, Tom Holman, I believe you're talking about. You want to know what was going on with him? let me see here. Just 1 second. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. This is what happened recently with Tom Holman. I wish they'd turned him loose. This is what was happening. Mandami was screaming at him. Acting like he's bad because he's got police officers in front of him. I believe Tom Holman could wipe the floor with this guy.
I know he could.
But that, if you don't know where he's at, that was like yesterday. He thinks he's a bad man.
I guarantee you one thing: if he got over there on Tom Holman, he'd have found out what a bad man was.
Yeah. Yeah.
He used to be a lot more outspoken. He was speaking on behalf of ICE many times, but I haven't heard from him.
Well, he was mainly border. We've sealed up the border a lot. The numbers are way down. Job well done. We got other issues.
He said here he hadn't heard from him since he heard something about him taking a bribe. That was hokey, I think.
Yeah, I can't say I wasn't there, but I wouldn't put it past the media to invent something.
Yeah, no doubt. No, not our media. They wouldn't do that. No. In a heartbeat.
Well, some media. Most.
There's a lot of stuff goes on with that. So
there's a big storm right now with the Heritage Foundation and Tucker Carlson. It is huge because of him having Fuentes on, and who is a Hitler lover. And anyway, it's ugly, and it is a firestorm right now for the Heritage Foundation because they had him on. He's also come out today. Tucker has. I saw a headline. I forget exactly what it said, where he defended. I can't remember who it was. Anyway, it's the huge story right now. Huge story, and the leading. He defended Mandami. That's what I saw, the headline. I didn't watch the article, but it was he defended him.
Tucker Carlson did?
That's what the headline said. I don't know. You can do a search. I don't know. Don't know.
Doesn't sound much like Tucker, but
Well, there's a lot of people saying he's a racist and stuff, and this show he had Fuentes on is explosive. This guy, what he said, Hitler was misunderstood, a good guy. Tucker partook in the conversation. He's refused to back off. And the leader of the Heritage Foundation, they've asked for his resignation. He finally was forced to say it was a mistake, maybe, to not come out and go speak against Tucker. But he says he's a friend. He's not going to. I'm not on a Tucker Carlson. I've never been really in his bandwagon or anything like that.
No.
A lot of things he's said, but this is an ugly story, and this is not liberals talking. This is conservatives that are very upset right now.
Yeah,
they are very upset. You're welcome to go. Y'all go look it up. I'm just saying it has been all in the press for a week and a half, 2 weeks now.
Wow.
But, the way to look at it is if you're going to have somebody on controversial, you need a disclaimer at the beginning and say, I do not support, anything this guy says. We're just giving him a chance to explain. And if you speak against it, they still might be mad. But he didn't do any of that. I mean, he seemingly went along with it and agreed, and it has ticked a lot of people off. The Heritage Foundation says they're bleeding right now. They need to find a way to get rid of this guy. I don't know what the deal is, but some of those organizations are set up funny. I like the Heritage Foundation. But the leading, they have a committee that's out there working against racism, anti-Semitism, and stuff. the leading rabbi on that resigned. He said, "I won't be a part of this. I'm done."
Wow.
So they basically, um, because Heritage Foundation is a big supporter of Tucker Carlson, so it all rolls downhill.
No. Well, and I've been seeing a lot of this stuff they're talking about. And the National Teachers Union actually put some stuff out, if I remember correct. Some curriculum that was talking about Hitler was just misunderstood. He was trying to help the Jews, this and that, and trying to help them get out of the country and all this other stuff. And you can rewrite it all you want to. And you can reword it all you want to. Facts are facts. What were they doing with the Jewish people in Germany?
And gypsies and others as well.
Yeah, not just Jews, but oh no.
Hitler was a loser. Let's just face it. He was a loser. He was a loser before he started the annihilation, and he was a loser. He was a failed artist.
Yeah.
He was had an axe to grind because of World War One. Everybody thought he was an idiot. The only reason anybody listened to him, he was able to hold a crowd.
Yeah.
But the people behind him didn't care for him. They couldn't stand the guy. That's why he turned around and killed him.
Yeah. Well,
because they were going to remove this guy. They were just using him, but he got too much power, and they paid the price.
Well, he's stupid. He had a funny looking mustache.
Yeah, his mustache was horrible.
Funny. And his mama dressed him funny. Oh. Yeah. And he was an ugly person, not just on the inside, but the outside too. He was ugly.
He had a bad haircut.
He wasn't just a bad haircut. My goodness. He looked like he'd been drugged behind a old rusted out Chevy with 10 feet of logging chain and drugged behind it up an old muddy dirt road and everything else, and the snot beat out of him. And he was all, but then they drug him through a mud hole in a creek or two, and he come out the other side all pasty and everything else. Come on. He was. Ugh.
I've always said it when he was in Munich as an artist, if a few people had bought his artwork, probably never heard of this guy. We never went down in history. But he was mad. He couldn't make it. And there were people there sharing leaflets and information and stuff, and he got all involved in that. But he was a failed, starving artist. Basically, really had no money. And there's a lot of twists and turns to it, but that's a basic story. He was mad about where his country was at, patriotism wise, and Germany was a bad place. Finances were down. I mean, it was a bad time in Germany, bad. And so people was willing to listen to anybody that would get up and have a voice. And where were they meeting at? The beer halls. They were drinking down the booze and cheering this dude on.
Dude, do you know how close we came to dodging a bullet then? I bet Hitler painted in his own poo.
I don't know.
So if Hunter Biden had not been Joe Biden's son, or Joe Biden hadn't been his father, hey, it's all lining up. He would have been a starving artist who worked in his own poo, going to the beer halls and all that kind of stuff, a loser, ugly, and people cheering him on because of, we could have dodged a bullet right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, just saw some parallels,
He's, and he a lot of people, well, I probably shouldn't go there. If you'll read your history, and if you will look at who he considered a non-Aryan and righteous, gave him the highest accolades and awards that a non-German could get, go look that story up. People get mad when I share that story, but I'll just leave it lay there. But it has some American roots and crazy stuff.
Yeah. But why do if you don't learn from history, this is an old adage, you're doomed to repeat it, right? So if you go back and rewrite history and act like it didn't happen, is that not just like guaranteeing that you're going to repeat it? You know, because you can't learn from it.
Yeah, Hunter. We know about Hunter, but because of Daddy connections, he sold a lot of that artwork for a lot of money. Of course, it's all gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it got snorted all away, I'd say.
Yeah.
Poor little Navy.
Yeah.
Daddy, Grandpa, none of them have anything to do with her.
Oh, but he's got a pardon now, so all he's got to do now is keep his nose clean.
So where President Trump pardoned Darryl Strawberry today.
Yeah. I did see something about that.
And a couple of Republicans from Tennessee were pardoned this week from some things that they were involved with.
Yeah.
I was covering this the other night, Rob, on news, I think news or mag, I don't remember. You know, the Supreme Court. It doesn't matter what case is up there. There's some Trump cases up there.
Yeah.
But in this country, I think it's high time that cameras are allowed in the Supreme Court. Why are we not allowing that to happen? Why do they get to say no to the cameras?
I should be able to. They're there in Congress. They're there in Congress.
You get the audio. If you're going to get audio, why can't we have camera? I mean, why?
Yeah.
That's not being transparent.
No, it's not.
Because body language says a lot. I like to see how people are answering these questions, not just hear it from all sides.
It's high time for some transparency all the way through the government. You know, I mean, from the top to the bottom, from federal, state, local, city, whatever, city, county, it's time for some transparency. And I don't mean having to ask for it. You know, there needs to be transparency top to bottom. And say, like, even now they'll go in there and they'll say, if it's a public meeting, they'll say, oh, well, we're going to go into executive session now. What the heck does that mean? Why you got to go behind closed doors to talk about it?
So they know how they're going to vote when they come back out.
That's stupid.
I don't like it. But what they will say is that they talk about personnel matters that they're not going to be shared. You know, they can't share that information.
Okay, if it's somebody personal, they can refer to them as John Doe, and the councilman can have their names on their little agenda thing so they know who they're talking about. That way no personal information is leaked out. You know, there's ways around stuff like that.
I think there's probably some things that probably need to be kept out of the it could be even future, because some companies will say as they're negotiating to come into an area, if this leaks out, we definitely ain't coming, because they may be working out deals, and it's happened here locally. I know that for a fact. A company got upset because, and the reason that is they made that when people know that there's potential that somebody's coming, the money grabbers start getting involved. They're trying to grab up land and all that, and they like to keep that thing on the QT for a little bit till they can work out agreements and stuff. But there's been businesses I'm pretty certain we're going to come to Fort O that said we're not coming now. Somebody ran them out. So there are times, and in court I get it if it's a child or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think no kid should have a camera in there, even audio. Let's not do that. But there are some things, but most things need to be on camera, transparent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, if we can show the OJ trial. Sidebar. We didn't get to hear sidebar.
Yeah. If
that's why they did that.
You must have quit.
What a joke.
Oh,
A lot of them are dead now. A lot of the particulars in that case are dead now.
yeah.
That's been a long time ago.
Mm.
I feel old.
So now we are in officially like in the middle or still going with the longest shutdown, government shutdown, right? Ever?
I don't think it's ever yet. It's getting close. I think there was one a long, long time ago that was like 75 days or something like that. But it's getting up there.
And you mean to tell me that in all this time that they've had this government shut down, nobody's given a rip about our air traffic controllers, our people, our government people that work for the government that aren't getting paid? How's our military going to get paid? Oh, we got SNAP benefits are coming to an end, or they're going to get paid out somehow. But you got all this going on, all right, and this is hurting people, millions of people, and they're worried about extending the Obama Health Care Act that's going to benefit or has the potential to benefit the illegals, and they're more worried yet again about illegals more than citizens. What do
Oh,
the
yeah.
citizens have to do to matter to the Democrats?
Good night, Miss Jen.
Good night, Miss Jen. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen there. Hey, Michael. But you know, it seems to me like there ought to be something Republicans do to bring them to the table and really push it. The Republicans aren't doing their job either. It's tough on both sides. Nobody should walk away from a negotiation table happy. But, you know, come on.
Like I said, that's their money. They earned it. Pay them.
Yes.
At least fix this. Choose something else to not pay or whatever. But don't take people's money. That's wrong on every level.
And if you're not doing your job and the government shut down, they should draw a check before you do.
That's
you got no business
biblically wrong. A workman is worthy of hire.
Not a one of them needs to be getting a check up there.
That worker deserves. I mean, they got kids to support.
Yep.
They got to pay their bills, buy food. It's just wrong. It's always going to be wrong. You don't mess with people's money.
Not ever. But they don't mind doing that. These are just American citizens. They're not important enough for them to fool with. Oh, if it was an illegal alien, they'd be all over that. Oh my gosh. I get so sick of this. What do American citizens have to do to matter? And that's to both sides. It's not to one side or the other. It's to both sides. You know, open up a pathway to citizenship for the ones that are here. Lock the one and get the criminal, get the bad element out. Leave the good. They're already here. They've been here. Oh. They're trying to make Trump pay the EBT with reserves, but Congress and Senate have to agree with it because if Trump does it without them, he breaks the law.
Well, here's an idea for you. Here's how I could fix this. I could fix this right now.
Okay.
Do it with executive action. We've been holding Russian money for a long time now because of what they're doing in Ukraine. Take that money, pay the people. To heck with Russia.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars are being held on to. Billions. Pay these people. Who cares about Putin?
I don't. He's done everything he could to cripple any deal or whatever that's been made. He don't care. He don't care about his people either. You know, why don't we? Why is it such a sin for us to take care of our people? Why?
And if you can find money for the military, you can find money for the rest of them.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I'll stand on it. I'm really not taking sides here. I'm really not going to get in the politics of it because I realize what the Democrats are doing, but I don't care if it's you sitting there and that's your paycheck. Do you really care who, what, when, where, how? You're mad. You're not getting a paycheck. That's wrong. What if all the Social Security checks didn't go out? Are we going to be okay with that? No. That's bullcrap. Pay these people. That's their money. I will never. I know he did, Michael. If you can find one billionaire to do it, find another one.
Yeah.
But pay these people. Pay them.
Yeah.
Another thing they're trying to do is, and it's before the Supreme Court, is limit not just his, for any president, executive power over terrorists isn't legal. But don't worry about that. He has so many options that they can do on different laws that have been passed over time. He can work with any of them. And I read a story on this through the Epic Times, and it doesn't matter what they say. There's all kind of ways he can do this. That's the big story right now, that he's getting slammed at the court. It won't stop what he's doing with the tariffs. He has many, many other options, and they're all legal.
Yeah.
Not that thing one anybody can do about it. Now, if they want to change the executive powers, which I will be honest with you, I have been against executive powers by the presidents since they started this crap. And I don't care who the president is. This is not healthy for our nation. For one man or one woman, if she ever becomes president, to have the power, because it's a yin and a yang. If he can do it, the next time some crazy leftist gets in there, what do you think they're going to do? We have got to limit the executive power of the president, not for matters of national defense and all that, but they're doing it. I mean, my gosh, they make new ones every time there's a new president.
Yeah.
And it is too much power for one person. That's not healthy for our nation. I'll say it. That's Dave.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me. I'm just saying, those have bothered me for a long time.
I think there are times when executive action is okay. If you've got to make a decision right now, I mean, you take it on yourself and you make an executive action, it's got to be done right now. Whether it's a Democrat or Republican, they ought to be able to make that decision right now. It may not be the best, but have a time limit on it. Where Congress has to get together and say, okay, either we ratify this or we do not. He's made this decision. They're going through with it, but now we need to get our butts in
Look at
gear.
what they do. Day one, they've got stacks of executive orders. Before long, we're not even going to see the president. It's just going to be the executive orders stacked up there. Yeah. And yet there were some that I'm glad that things got turned around. But again, they're going to just go the other way the next time. It's not healthy for the nation.
No,
it's not.
No.
We got to get closer to the middle. We've got to.
Nobody wants to give an inch, though.
I know.
This shutdown is a prime example of it. Nobody is willing to budge. Nobody. And the few that aren't walking lockstep with the left or the right, the few that are not walking lockstep that would meet in the middle are getting just slammed from their parties. And that's disgusting. They're saying, hey, we got to work together. We got to figure out some way to make this work. And their parties are just slamming them. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, you can look at it 20 different ways, but if that's my paycheck, I'm doing the work. I deserve to be paid.
Yeah.
How long would you work for a company that kept saying, we can't pay you this week? We don't have the money.
I've been going after the first week.
I gotta give these people a lot of credit for staying on the job.
Yeah.
They're hoping and praying that things change quick because they realize eventually, unlike a company that maybe is going under. But hey, we're way in debt.
Yeah.
But I've heard it said by many people, you do a job, you get paid for that job. That's your money. That's not their money anymore. You contracted to do a certain amount of work for a certain amount of money. And they're not giving you anything. You earned your money. You did work for that money. It's not the government's. It's yours. And shame on them. Absolutely shame on them for doing that. My sister has not been paid in 2 weeks. Gets up faithfully every day, Monday through Friday, and it helps our veterans. It's wrong.
Yeah.
And not just because she's my sister do I say this. It's ridiculous. These people deserve their money.
Yeah. What about these people that are in the military? Are they going to get paid next month?
Well, they said they covered that with a billionaire. So he said he covered I don't know how long that covers it, but he gave $130 million.
But, you know, these people are going out there and they're getting paid to put their life on the line, possibly, for our country. And others, some in war zone and high tense areas. And, you know, no.
Yeah, I saw that, Michael. That's going to be chaos. And it's right here at the holidays, getting close. Come on.
This is all planned out. This is the leftist pressure on this. It's going to get so bad that the Republicans are just going to have to give them what they want. They're just going to have to. And the Republicans are like, well, we're not going to give you anything. You know, we've got to talk about it in the House and in the Congress. You know, and so they're like, okay. And they're perfectly willing to flush the country down the toilet in the process. No, I'm sorry. I said what I said. I understand where the Republicans are coming from. I understand where the Democrats are coming from because they don't have any power and they're pissed off about it. And this is their way to show their ass and get what they want still. And the Republicans aren't moving a bit. And they're going to show their ass and say, no, you're not going to bull us around. And in the meantime, the country hurts. And neither side cares about it. I'll say it. You know, you don't have to agree with me. I mean, I think that's the same thing you were saying. They said Dems, that was their leverage to get whatever they need. Okay. What do they need? Why do they need health care going to illegals? Why? Why do they need that? Don't understand. It's a crying shame. Are they grown-ups up there? Are they adults up there? Isn't there an age limit to run for Congress and Senate or the House of Representatives and the Senate? Isn't there age limits for this? There ought to be maturity level limits as well. If you go up there and you can't keep the government open, what they ought to do. Here's an interesting thought for you. For every day that the government's open, or every day that the government's closed, kick one out off of each side and start having elections right then.
Well, here's what I'll say. I don't want to see another piece of military hardware go to Ukraine while people are here not getting paid. Not one. Not one.
No. I don't want to see any foreign aid going out to other countries while people here in this country aren't getting paid either. All right. We go further in debt every year, taking out loans to support other countries because we don't leave enough money for us to run ourselves. And we're going to take out loans for other countries and they can take out their own damn loans. So, and let our people do it out. And yeah, nothing to Ukraine. No. And you're right about the Russian money. You know, we got billions here. Use it. The heck with Russia.
Could care less. I could care less about if they get their money back. In fact, I think all that money should be taken to rebuild at least infrastructure that they bombed out. Heck with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Schumacher and Jeffries are pushing it because they are not on top and want for the people to give them the credit. Mandani is the head of the party with AOC and Bernie. Hmm.
Well, while the people ain't getting paid, money can be withheld.
I think they ought to boot one off each side. You're gone, and start holding elections right then. For every day that the government is shut down, just boot them, replace them.
I mean, you know, sometimes when you're working out the last bit of a budget, it's not uncommon to go over hours or even a couple 3 days because nothing massive is really going to happen. But to use it as a weapon is wrong. I don't care who does it; it's wrong.
Well,
You are hurting Americans. You're not helping Americans. You're hurting them, and you are wrong to do it. And this has got to stop.
yeah, but that's how important their power is to them, or their perceived power. That's how important it is to them. You
At
watch;
some
they'll run
at
this
some
thing right through.
point, at some point, good people are going to leave those jobs and go in the private sector to get paid, and
Yeah,
we're going to lose good people at air traffic control and stuff like that. I mean, we're going to lose talented people that say, you know what, I'm not doing this no more.
they have voted for the CR since Biden was in office. Yeah, and this was
And
a clean one. It
and it's
wasn't.
an
It wasn't anything.
embarrassment for our Congress. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah, it is
And
absolutely
this
right.
is both sides. They all act like little spoiled children.
Yeah,
Our Congress is a joke because they've turned it into a joke.
hmm
We don't have the power to change other than our vote. I don't want to hear how many voted here. I mean, you know, it's a
I think they
joke.
ought to get every Democrat and every Republican in the House and the Congress and boot them the heck out, and not let them run again, and just start new. You know, that gum. Maybe we'll get some people in there that give a crap about the citizens of this country. Ugh. That would make me very unpopular in a lot of circles saying that, but I said it, and I think that would be one of the greatest things that ever happened to this country. Knock out both sides, everybody,
How
everybody
many
out.
how many of them have made a symbolic gesture to give up a paycheck to help at least give some to the people? How many?
I don't know, but I can probably look that up because Jeffries was talking about the other day. Uh,
I mean, the president doesn't take his salary. I get that. But how many of them have said, I won't take another check while the American people are suffering? I will donate it to some organizations that help with food or whatever for people or whatever. How many do that?
see if we can even give this here out, get this information.
Michael says two. Two out of how many? And I can tell you that the the food banks are already in trouble. They've been in trouble. They do a great job, but they're trying to find some way to make their way through this. I think there's some decent people there that are trying, but it's very few, honestly. Most of them act like little petulant, little spoiled, bratty kids, whiner criers.
Yeah.
Where's the statesman at? What? That's a word that's not even used anymore. Where's the statesman at? And Ted Cruz has got his own scars. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I just think it's really sad that our country is engaged in this kind of behavior.
I
And
can't find
I
out.
really don't care who is the cause, because this is not the first time, and it's not always the same party, and it's just ridiculous.
Well, when the Republicans threatened to do it to the Democrats, they screamed foul, foul. Oh, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. The people need us. And where's that need now? You know.
Yeah, And a bigger danger is if these people don't get their SNAP benefits, hunger will make you do crazy stuff.
That's what they want. They want the chaos. They
I know.
want the confusion. They want that. Look at George Floyd and all that mess that they were all supporting. Look at Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff. Look at all this stuff here that was pushed, and it was pushed by the left and blown way up out of proportion. What happened to George Floyd? He should not have died that night. I'll be the first to say he should not have died that night. All right, he shouldn't have, and it was wrong that he did. But how much of that was actually attributed to the officer, and how much of it was because of the drugs that was in his system? He was not a good person anyway. But I'm still not saying he should have died. Nobody deserves to die at the hands of the police unless you're shooting at them or shooting somebody else. But don't let a good crisis go to waste. And they're not beyond making a crisis for themselves. Hey, Miss Lynn, how are you doing tonight?
Hey there, Lenny. I'll be seeing you soon as I walk up from the studio.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, and we knew that was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
He can't give everybody the free stuff. There's no money for that. New York's fiscally upside down, bad, like California.
Yeah.
He just said whatever to get in office.
Exactly. Like every other politician out there, just about.
Yeah. La. Pants on fire.
Well, where's the song at? Oh.
Hey, Watchman. Touche.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh my goodness.
Well, they have considered moving the stock market to Texas. That would be interesting.
Cowboy hats.
Yeah.
I get all the particulars of the politics of it, but if I'm that worker, I don't give a crap about your politics. I give a crap that I ain't got a paycheck.
Yeah. And I've done the word. You know,
I couldn't imagine, honestly. I couldn't imagine going 2 weeks without pay. Mr. Sherbert. Well, yeah, there's 800,000 to 1 million people going to move out of the city, the business, the people that have their headquarters there, they're going to start moving that, and they're getting the heck out. People are selling rental property, have been for a while, and getting out. Money people are leaving. Money people, big money people. Look out Texas, look out Florida, look out Georgia. They're all coming south and southwest.
Well, I don't blame them. It's cold up there. Hey, give me just a second. Let me go in here and fix me a coffee.
All right.
And I'll be right back.
Fix that coffee. Yeah, Watchman. Probably the most, I don't know if it was the most expensive, but it was ranked way up there. Hey, man, we're praying for you, Michael. Take care, brother. We'll see you next time. It's good to hear from you, man. Love you. Hang in there. I get it, man. We all have our crosses to bear and don't feel good and different things going on. You take care, man. But yeah, I just Watchman, it was good. It was a very different kind of flavor. I still got some of it. It actually looks a little different too, but it was very smooth. It was just different. I never had a coffee that, if you know what I'm talking about, the Ethiopian blend bean that we have with the podcast through their coffees. It was very different coffee than I have ever drank, to be honest. not in a bad way, just different. I don't know how to describe it. I drank several pots, and I kind of bounce around. I'll do different blends, and I still had some, I think some Costa Rica coffee and different ones that I was working with too. So I still got quite a bit of it, but it was very good, very smooth. I don't know what the color is different. I didn't even notice it at first. I got to looking when I was cleaning my grounds out. That coffee's lighter. It's a lighter colored bean. But yeah, I did enjoy it. Well, Barry, that all goes back to we need to not have the federal government in charge of so many things too. I mean, I don't know. Maybe something that's across the nation. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right or the wrong, but we don't need them involved in a lot of stuff. That's for sure. As fruity nuts, very smooth, it's sublime. The soil is rare in the mountains. There might be they hearken to come being there. Yeah. But I appreciate you asking. It was the Ethiopian bean, and it was really good. Kind of hard to share that through a screen, but it was very good, and it was smooth. But that's the whole thing. Wherever you're at, with whatever ground you're in, is they all get a little bit different. And that's what makes it so interesting. You know, some mountains have, and it's only found in certain areas. You can't recreate that taste anywhere else in these coffees. They're very unique wherever they come from. And I think that's the fascinating part for me. It may be other things too, but coffee certainly is that. It's fun when you're relaxing after dinner type being. Yeah, I could see that. It's not one that I thought, honestly, I kind of thought it'd be one that would wire you up. But it's not. It is a relaxing coffee. And it definitely helped me. I can drink coffee and go to sleep. I can't drink tea and go to sleep. It's like good scotch. It definitely relaxed me in the evenings when I'm not drinking coffee now. I'm just drinking water. But it definitely helped me to rest. I'd be getting sleepy in the studio. It's like putting me out. So that's why I keep different types for morning time when I want a little more or something. I don't stay with just one. I kind of bounce around a little bit. Now I may have one that I'm predominantly with more than others, but I try a lot of blends. And I still have coffee from other companies other than ourselves. I still have 55coffee.com. I actually am really low on that. I probably order some. He said I never could drink coffee. I've already got too much input. I hear you. Can't stand the smell of it. You're absolutely right. You're describing it to a T. I made it one morning. I think I set the coffee maker up to make it first thing in the morning when I come to the studio. And when I drank it, I was like, whoa, this is really smooth. I was expecting a little bit of, kick. And I was like, whoa, this is very, very different. I wasn't expecting that. I had emptied out it comes in the bags, which you've seen, but I had a big plastic tote that I had finished some coffee of, and I dumped it in there just to seal it up even more. And I've been drinking on it, but it probably is, outside of some really bad coffee I had once, it's probably the most different kind of coffee I've ever drank in my life from where I normally drink the type of coffees I drink, because I don't get into a lot of wild flavor stuff, but the family of coffees that I do stay with, that Ethiopian was way different, but good, smooth. Like you said, you described it. I don't know. A friend of mine helped me get that, who's a musician, And I've got to get back into playing, picking, a little bit guitar. Me and Kaylee, we both got guitars at the same time. I'd have to look. He actually had bought it, got a great deal on it, and was telling me about it and was playing it. And I've always liked the Strat. I like the Les Paul, but I like Strats. And I said, man, I'm looking for a guitar. And me and Kaylee were talking about here recently that we need to get, but yeah, USA. He got it. You know what? I've got a friend. He said it plays really well. I just did a little bit of picking. He was playing some really good riffs, Watchman. But he every once in a blue moon, believe it or not. Now it's getting harder because a lot of more people are doing this. But I can tell you for a fact, this guy has gotten some really good guitars off online from, of all places, Goodwill.
Yeah.
The brand, are you talking about the coffee there, Mr. Sharp? Ethiopian bean. It's in our SFP coffees. And I tried it, and I was surprised at how, like, I tried like 8 different blends. And then I said, I think I'm going to try the Ethiopian. And it was, the guitar. I don't know a lot about it. Like I said, I played a little bit. And, but it's a really good, it's not top line, but it's a good guitar. I've got an acoustic too that I'm going to bring down the studio. I just need to get the hooks and hang them up on the wall and play them. I'm not really a player. I pick a little bit, but I do want to practice more. And now that I have the studio, it's hard in the house. There's always distraction, but back here I can do that. That's been a plan of mine.
Yeah, the only instrument you got playing that's the radio.
Yeah. And dude, that I love to hear Jakey Lee play. He is you give less than Mr. Trevor. Maybe we do the Zoom call. Jakey Lee is a different kind of player. I like Jakey Lee. I've always liked him. He got done dirty by the Osbournes, by the way, but but it's the guitar. You want me to show it? I'll pick it up. Get my ears back on so I can hear you. I got to clean it up, but here it is. And like I said, it plays really well. It plays really well. And I have played it some, so. He got a great deal on it and said, Dave, I'm not even going to make money. I just want to help you get a guitar. And we met at a Home Depot in the parking lot. We exchanged.
Wow.
I can tell you that I got a great deal on it.
Way
less than $100.
What does it say there on the headstock, Dave?
It's Indiana. But it's a really good sounding guitar. He got me a good deal on the acoustic too. It's smooth, real. It's probably even a little bit better guitar. And then I ordered my granddaughter a guitar as well. Well, not ordered, but he helped me get that too. So. I saw a headline about that Watchman. I didn't really get to see the story.
It's a beginner Strat. Hey, that's a good place to start though.
It was just I'm a beginner. I'm a beginner. I didn't want to invest a lot of money into something, But we got a great deal on it, and he was playing it. He was changing some things out on it that need changed and updating it a little bit. got it all ready for me, and then we made the deal. Good friend, still friends. I'll tell you what happened to this guy, a friend of mine that got me the guitar. He used to, oh, okay. Cool, man. He used to have an app that he stored all of his sound bites in. He had thousands. Riff here, riff there, part of a bridge, whatever. And these knuckleheads, hey Jake, these knuckleheads decided to shut the app down. But they didn't tell anybody they were going to do it. They just shut it down. And he lost over 2,000 sound bites that he had saved up that he would go and use when he was recording and stuff. He said, they're gone forever, Dave. They're just gone.
Wow. That's not cool.
Thank you, Watchman. I will copy that out. I like Jakey Lee. He got looking a little rough there for a while. In his band was Red Dragon, but he looked a little better last time I saw him. I think he's a heavy. But oh wow, that's bad, dude. Man.
Now, Watchman, do you and Mr. Sherbert, do y'all make your own music? Just out of curiosity.
Write that music.
Sounds like both of y'all are pretty talented and both of y'all do that. Drums, piano, strings, Watchman. You'll have a studio.
He's got the studio.
Yeah. Hey, if it's your own original stuff, can't we put that on the radio station? If they send us the MP3? If they want us to, we could do that, I think.
Yeah, Barry. It's just one of those things where he probably got too trusting in technology and just thought that app would be there forever. And if they were going to shut it down, notify everybody to download everything. And it was, with downloads, the app just worked better for him the way he worked in the studio, my understanding. I'm not an expert on what he was doing, but he was pretty upset about that.
Yeah. Can't imagine why.
I mean,
there's a lot of time and effort and energy and creativity goes into making music, and then you make it and then you save it and you think it's safe, and all of a sudden it's just gone. That's not. Ooh.
Hello, Jack Sells on Instagram. God bless you. Yeah, it's like, people have lost very valuable guitars. People always lurking around trying to steal stuff. Sometimes they get it back, sometimes they don't. Okay, I like the Newsboys, although I don't like what just happened with the lead singer, and they've had to just pack it up for a while. And because I think they had knowledge that this guy was having trouble, and he was still going out there presenting himself as a Christian, living a Christian life. He is a Christian if he's saved, but bad stuff. Bad. That's cool. I like Third Day. I like Newsboys. Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah. We don't mind doing that for you or Watchman. We'll put it up on the station. Well,
I got you, Watchman. Hey, I'll tell you a funny story. A friend of mine, they were in the Metallica type band, but they were Christians, and they were playing Christian songs and stuff. They had all been secular, but they wanted to live better life, and they said we got to straighten ourselves out. And anyway, they got invited to a youth event at this church, and they had them setting up in the main sanctuary. And my buddy, he's the drummer, and he's the one telling me the story. And he's like, "What in the world is going on here? Why would they have us setting up in the sanctuary?" I think Rob's going to sleep. We'll let him get back up and make sure he's all right. But they put him up in the main sanctuary, and people are billing in, sitting in the pews. So they tell them, well, we got this band here for our youth event. All right, y'all go ahead and start. They got about 20, 25 seconds into the song, and people, they couldn't hear him, but he's waving for to stop. They said, when they finally stopped playing, I said, "What are you doing?" They said, "We're playing our music." "Not here, you're not." They put them out in their gymnasium, and they played out there, and people would filter out and talk to them. But he said, "I will never forget it." He said, I don't know why that they put us in there, but somebody got miscommunicated. They thought they were going to play a little CCM type, I think. And this was way heavy. I mean, even heavier than, I just use that as a reference. It probably went way heavier. But I like a lot of different types of music. I always have. My mom was a big inspiration in my life, and she gave me a lot of, she gave me a lot of love of music. And so I just, it's in me. I stay away from stuff that's, bad or has a bad, really bad messaging. But I like music, and I love everything from bluegrass to whatever. I mean, you name it. I'm not into rap or nothing like that. I just never was into that. But Motown to disco or bluegrass rock, Southern rock. I don't care for death metal or nothing like that. But you did a radio spot for Calvary Chapel, satellite radio stations. One commercial I wrote, and my wife wrote the song, played for years before. Oh, okay, cool. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Motown. I'm a big fan. Chuck Smith was Charlie Kirk's. Oh, okay, yeah. Got you. Again, I've got friends that wouldn't agree with that. You love any Motown record. I was, my mom loved the Motown stuff, and she would watch Soul Train and stuff like that. So I really got into all the groups. The solo artists were okay. I liked some of those, but I was really into the groups, the OJs or the Jackson 5 or Temptations, or you could go on and on. I mean, I think probably, two of my favorite songs are Backstabber. Papa Was a Rolling Stone. Those sounds there, they don't even have to sing. They could just play the beats, and I'm in. I love that. Marvin Gaye was really talented. Lots of wonderful sound. And there's really nothing like it ever since. I mean, it is, there's people have influences with it, sure, but it's really not right there anymore. James Jamerson is one of my idol bass players. When I was young, I really did watch a lot of bass players. Now, I became enamored with guitar players, but early on, I really did. I still do. And I think, I think of the bass beats and Hall & Oates. I really love that. That's right up my alley is that kind of stuff. But that's cool discussion, dudes. I love it, man. I love it.
Sorry about that.
Are you good, man? You good? Glad you made it back for the end of the show.
Yeah, I was thinking I might call it I'm not.
Yeah, if you need to go to bed, man, check out. We got a few minutes left. We're good.
All right,
Take care of
guys,
yourself, man.
love y'all. God bless you. And I'm gonna call it. I'm. Y'all be good.
You take care, man.
All right, brother.
See you, brother. Y'all pray for. Um, but let's get list to Elvis, Fats Domino, Chuck Berry. By the way, did you see Chuck Berry playing with? Oh my gosh, who was Not Ranger? Did you see that? Well, he has epilepsy, Mr. Sherbert, and we have to be prepared to take him off screen. So he had a seizure, and whenever he has one, he really can't come back. He just came back to say bye. Hello, Celtic. But yeah, Chuck Berry was playing with Not Ranger, man, Brad Gillis. I'm like, how cool is that? I just thought that was pretty awesome. That's a little bit, like I say, that was more my mom. She really was in her time. But the fact that they're still doing this stuff, I used to love, they made it as almost a joke, but the Blues Brothers band was we know were legendary players. And this skit they did on Saturday Night Live turned into something really cool. That album, I bought that album. And they were did the tour and all that. That Donald Duck Dunn and all those guys, man, that they had a sound, and they did it as a comedy skit, and man, that was good stuff. They did some Sam and Dave and all that. Awesome. Did you see him with John Lennon and Yoko? No, I didn't see that. You got to be listen, I don't want to offend anybody, but you got to be some kind of patient to listen to, Donald Duck, bad. I love that. To listen to Yoko Ono's music. I mean, you got to be, oh man, you got to be on something. That's just bad. But she made some money off of it because of him. And there's people, I guess, like it. I don't know. But some people would say, to be fair, that Linda McCartney was pretty bad too. Maybe not as bad as that. Her singing was no great shakes either, but she did a lot of backup. But people have pulled that sound out. It is what it is. They didn't marry really talented musicians or singers, my opinion. Got to be on an elephant tranquilizer. Who were some of the other players in that band? I mean, I remember Donald Duck, Dunn, and man, they had it, man. The horn players, the bass, they had it all, man. And of course, teaming up in that movie with Ray Charles, how cool was that? Just a great sound. And started off as a joke, truly a joke. I've always found it interesting, the dynamic of a band. It's so much to that, and bands that stay around a long time, you got to give them a lot of credit because it's so many egos. And artists are very protective of their thing, and everybody wants credit. And even some of the greatest together, like McCartney and Lennon, or Lennon McCartney, however you want to say it, it was they worked together on some really amazing music, but they also brought their own stuff, and there was a lot of jealousy there. They didn't want to give each other too much credit because and then other members of the band started bringing some music too. And, it's a challenge whose song gets on the album, much like the Fleetwood Mac. Whose song, whose craft gets on the album? Because it only had so much room. And the idea, of course, that's money. The songwriters, that's the money. And I remember a story about Van Halen, as great as Michael Anthony is as a bass player and backup singer, and he is. I mean, I don't know if he's great as a bass player. I'm not an expert on that, but I like his playing. But backup singing, great. There's an article in one of the books about they went, the Van Halens and Dave, they got together and decided, hey, we could be making a lot more money here. We're all spreading this money equal out. And they went and met with Michael Anthony at his house to tell him that they were going to get a bigger cut of the money because he didn't write music. He didn't write the songs. And I've read what he had to say about that. And he claimed that Dave was in the floor crying. He felt so bad about it, but he wanted that money. But that's when things changed in Van Halen. Right there. They were never the same after that. It was all going downhill. But that's what happens. You get jealousy, people claiming you're ripping them off and they want bigger money. The lawyers get involved and you lose the joy of what you started. It all becomes a business, and it is a business. And I'm not saying they shouldn't, but that was the deal they had. They set it up, and then they wanted to change that. And Michael didn't pitch a fit or nothing like that. He just said, okay, whatever. I'm doing okay, whatever you want to do. But, that's the money. Some bands are, some members make a whole lot more money than others. Whitesnake. Some bands spread that equal among, maybe with escalators for writing songs. Some bands are really good about giving equal song credits no matter what your contribution is. They just don't want to argue over it. They just appreciate that a good song got out and everybody's making money. Some bands are very different about that. I just find all that truly interesting. The dynamic of a band. It's a brotherhood, but it can become outlaws in a heartbeat. Well, that's a point to be made, my friend. That's a point to be made. Yes. There's a story, and I've heard him tell it, where, of course, they got mad at him. They fired him. They said he quit, or he said he was fired. When he went and played with Sammy, they got mad at Sammy. Anyway, long story short, they stripped everything about Michael Anthony off of the website. He said that lasted 24 hours. The fans called up the management company and said, you put him back on there or we're done with you. We will not buy nothing else. And apparently the outcry was so bad, everything got put in there. Now, later on, he sold all his rights to anything Van Halen. He sold it out. They wanted it. He sold it. They did that knowing that he wanted to be on the reunion tour with Sammy, and that's the only way that they would let him do that, is to sell any rights he had to the band name and logos and all that stuff. It gets to be ugly business. Ugly business. So started out as a bunch of young guys, college guys. Next thing you know, they're millionaires after a heck of a lot of hard work. And then it ripped them a lot. He has Watchmen. I've got to say, and I admire him he's lost a lot of weight too. I'm glad he's healthier. And I like the fact that he has refused to play really at all, just very little, anything about Van Halen. He makes it his own way. He plays every instrument in the recording studio. I mean, the guy, listen, I'm going to say it. And there might be some people get mad at me. Overall, as an overall artist, he's more talented than his dad. I'm not saying he's right there close as a guitar player. I mean, you can see it. But he is more talented than his dad because he plays all the other instruments. And he plays them dang good. And he's a heck of a singer. He's a heck of a singer. And I'm just saying that DNA, man, wow. I didn't think I'd ever say that. But he was relegated to playing bass and background vocals and stuff. But when he started really getting into his own stuff with Mammoth, wow. His dad was blown away. His dad, I think pretty much said behind the scenes that he was going to take things further than he ever did. That he had that kind of talent. He was extremely excited, not just because of his son. He said the quality is there. He got, old Wolfie. Somebody asked him how much fun he had on tour. I think that was 2015? They did that tour with Wolfie. Michael's gone and they brought him in. And they asked him, how much fun did you have? He did play. I just don't think he was as talented probably as his son. Watch my opinion. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you're right. He said, what fun? He said, I played in my dressing room and played video games. He said, I was 15 years old. My dad's right outside the door. What am I going to do? So, but there's touching scenes on that tour where him and Wolfie and his dad are playing on stage together, just them, and that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've always, some people don't like the West Coast sound. Some people do. But Eddie Van Halen changed the landscape with guitars. There's no doubt. I will be honest and say some of his later tones I didn't care for as much. And I get early versus later, a little too polished for me. I think the last great thing that I really liked was Human Beings. I love the guitar work in that. But I said overall. I didn't say as a guitar player. Overall. I think he's better in overall. He's a better singer than his dad. He's probably a better drummer and keyboardist, and he's not far off Dad on guitar too, man. He plays it all. He plays all of his dad's stuff, and all these people try to play it and they mess it up. He can play it, So, I've liked AC/DC for a long time. I wish them well. The sound is not bad, although, wow, that's I don't know. And you're talking about playing drums. Bond used to play drums in the studio, help them get the beats and everything when they were doing the writing. There's a guy that don't get enough credit as songwriter. That's Bon Scott. He also got ripped off. Absolutely got ripped off after his death. Where did those books go? They never were seen again. I think we know where they're at, where they went. Fascinating story. If you've ever read Fink's book called Bond, that's a good book. Some people disagree with some of it, but he did a lot of research for that book. Yeah, last time you saw him, Axl was singing. Angus has still got the sound. He just can't do the moves anymore like he used to. He tries, but Stevie, a lot of controversy about the drummer. They didn't go with, they didn't bring as original as they could together. Of course, Malcolm's gone, but Stevie had been there a long time. You're right. You know where I'm going with that. And people argue with that. They ripped him off. I think my opinion is I'll give you Dave's opinion about that. This is what I think happened. And I could be dead wrong. We know that the song books the lyric books went missing. We know that. We know they were frantic. And this whole story, and I like, oh my gosh, the singer they have. I just went blank. But that story that they slid a yellow memo pad in front of him and said, just write. And they wrote some of the greatest songs, I call BS. And if you read Fink's book, she said that she knows for a fact that Bond was writing, that there were songs he was writing for that album were already pretty much there. and she was a mystery lady because she was an executive. She still didn't want to be revealed. But down in Miami, she was spending a lot of time with Bond, and she said they changed the two words in "You Shook Me All Night Long" because they didn't understand what they were. And Bond was a very poetic kind of writer. He wrote about we know what he wrote about, but he was very poetic how he did it. And their songwriting sucked all the way up from the time after Back in Black. It was a little bit on, for those about to rock, it was okay. It went on a horrible. Those songs were bad. The lyrically, they just didn't, they're bad. And then you get to Thunderstruck and all that. It's almost like they dipped back in the book, to be honest. But they found the magic again for whatever reason. But if you look at the songs Bond wrote and look at the songs after Back in Black, it's pretty, yeah, that's it. And that's what she said. They did not understand. They had no clue what he was talking about. And by the way, you know the story. He wrote that about her. So here's what I think happened. They got those lyric books, but they know they got a problem because his family ain't going to be happy. I mean, there's a lot of questions going on. What I believe they did was cut a deal with them, and that they gave him some money. Money talks. And they signed they signed documentation that they wouldn't talk about it for 100 years or something. They'll all be dead. Because I do think they probably, the family probably benefited in some way. But it's a bad deal, honestly. They should have, held on. But imagine what that would have been worth. But yeah, you're right. We agree 100%. I was a big fan of Bond. Just a unique character. That 1980 Paris show that they put out on video, it's kind of eerie to watch now that since when he died. And I love that whole concert. They're playing in the snow and all that. It's a really good show. He wrote his girlfriend in a Florida car to line about American thighs and chartreuse size. She has all that stuff. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But everybody wants to give the total credit to the new guy. I got nothing against the new guy. But he didn't write all that. I'm sorry. If by the way, notice he quit writing songs. If he was such a great lyricist, how come after he wrote in for those about Royal, they got credit, and maybe another album, then he quit. He just quit. He said, no, I don't want to do it no more. Y'all do it. Really? An artist has to get that stuff out. Nothing against what he does on stage. I like him. He's a funny guy. He rescued him. He really did. But, yeah. That's it. And but that's what they didn't understand it. Now the Youngs were very talented. Obviously, their brother was very talented. But if you go back and read all that, there was a lot of talk that Bond himself had said he was afraid he was going to get fired because he did have a drinking problem. And he did forget some lyrics on stage, and he was constantly paranoid that they were going to fire him. He also was getting a little sick and tired of carrying around Angus on his shoulders. He thought it was demeaning. He just got sick of it. And there was a lot of things going on at that time. I mean, and alcoholics are hard to deal with, and he was a bad one. And if you've watched interviews with him when he's drunk, it's not pretty. So I get that part. But they didn't do him right on that. Yeah, you're right, Watchman. They just never, just the song titles. Bad. The music was still the music, but even the music is really recording was lame. I mean, it just wasn't that good. And I like to know for my own benefit. I've read both sides of the story, but the great Mutt Lange, who has made mega albums all across the spectrum, for all kinds of different kinds of musics and genres. I mean, his albums with AC/DC are multi-million-dollar sellers. From Highway to hell, Back in Black, and all those albums he worked with. But when you get for those about to rock, they said they were tired of working with him. He was holding them back, and he did all this and he did all that, and they were tired of working with him. What happened? I mean, he was making you look pretty dang good. While all of a sudden, is he not? And he went on to produce the same stuff. It makes me wonder what was going on in the band at that time that Mutt became the bad guy. Well, sure. And I think that does say it all. But they got those books. They came up missing. If you know the story, folks, when he died, some of his possessions came up missing. Now, there were some bad people in the mix, but most of them wouldn't have cared about that. They'd have been looking for money or something to sell for drugs, because a lot of them were on heroin and stuff. Cocaine, obviously. But they were after those books. That was gold. But that album is a fantastic, and honestly, there were songs that were left over that didn't make it. But I will tell you that his girlfriend, if you know that much, you know this part of the story, that she confronted the Youngs backstage and was very offended that they wrote, which I think it's Bond's song. They didn't write it, but she was offended at them for the song "Have a Drink on Me" after what happened to him. She lit into him. Now, she has since died. She had her own problems, but she was very upset with them. But they didn't write the song. Bond did. That sounds like a Bond song. He was a drinker. Brian Johnson didn't write that. I'm sorry. I will never believe that. Enjoy the conversation tonight. It's turning into a music show, folks, but that's okay. On the front porch, we don't care. You guys are bringing a lot of great stuff. And I guess me and Watchmen are the only ones doing it right now, but they wouldn't be getting royalties if off that if they didn't write it. I think that Bond's brother, is his brother still alive? Maybe. I think it's his brother, wasn't it? Do you have a brother? I can't remember now. Fascinating story. They played just constantly. Played. They stayed on the road. They played loud. They played. They went back in the recording studio, and they were really about burnt out. That grind was heavy. I mean, hard. If you go back and look at the volume of work from 74 on, it's, amazing. But my favorite album, honestly, and nothing against that one, is the live album. That album, and it's probably got a little emotional attachment too, because me and my best friend bought that album. But I love that album. Let There Be Rock. That is really my Powerage is way up there too. Highway is good, but it's a little polished. Honestly, that's the Mud Effect. But hey, he made them hit makers on the radio. Powerage is great. Dirty Deeds, which got slammed, I do like that one too. Many people say that. Some say, what's the other one? Watchmen. Some people pump another one up there too. I can't think of it right now. Powerage, awesome. We're going to do AC/DC on the music show. Def Leppard's coming up. We got delayed this week. We had some Wi-Fi issues and stuff, but we'll get it back out and we'll announce it. But I love having the music talk, and lyrics on Powerage is very high IQ. And by the way, Bond could play the bagpipes. How many lead singers can do that? We'll definitely do all those, man. All those. All is open. I don't mind talking about any of them, but we'll go through the this, the albums. We'll go through the history of the band. I took 2 weeks on Tesla. That was the first two. I'm going to flow right into Def Leppard. I'm a big fan, and Tesla and Def Leppard kind of go together. But if you'd like to give me you gave me 2 suggestions, and AC/DC is a strong one. Yeah, you're right. That's why Bond was so good. He knew how to throw it out there in such a way that they didn't catch it. They didn't catch it. But I definitely put those in the mix. Iron Maiden, Dio, Vivian Campbell. But I'll talk about them all. I've been wanting to do this show for a long time, and I'm totally excited about it. I don't know everything, but I'm like I said, I got a lot of history of music. I've been to a lot of shows. I'm not a player, so I would be glad to have y'all come on and tell me your opinions as players. I'm not, so I'm a fan. I'm a fan, but I know what I like. Like Touch Too Much, yeah, and that line just jumps off. Yeah, that line just jumps. Brian Johnson couldn't write that line. Nothing even close. What was one of the... I shouldn't say it. Oh, forgive me. It is an album. It is a song title. I think during the Brian Johnson supposed album songwriting time frame, he wrote a song. I think it was his song, "Sink the Pink." Wait, I get it. AC/DC right straight on stuff like that, but Bond would have never wrote that like that. Come on, man. What's the one you hate the most, Watchman? Venus statue has no arms, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. What's the one you don't like? I mean, there's some in the 80s that were bad. I guess I shouldn't say that. Some AC/DC fans would get really mad at me for saying that. Yeah, I'm a fan of that, Mr. Sherbert. I am a fan. Ride On. Oh, man, I love that. The stuff from Maximum Overdrive. It's about a guy who throws a fancy parties, but it's worded to have a double meaning. And they were the masters of the double entendre. I mean, Blow Up Your Video was pretty bad. Okay, thank you. We're on the same page. It was bad. It was such basic. I mean, when I say basic, it was the drums were bad. I mean, everything was just, it sounded horrible. The mix was horrible. The recording of it was horrible. It did not, it's just bad. Yeah, it was. And the videos, because like a lot of people that got into the video craze, and some of that was bad. They redeemed themselves, though, with Thunderstruck and Razor's Edge. I bought that CD on CD. And I'll be honest, I passed over some albums before that. I got them on the cheap at the flea market and stuff, used cassettes and stuff. Razor's Edge was a good album. Fly on the Wall has its points, but a letdown. I would agree with that too. To a lot of people, For Those About to Rock has a letdown. I think there's some hidden gems there that are really good. It's not just For Those About to Rock, which, by the way, is a great song. And the closer for the band for decades now, or has been. But there are some really good songs there, but it is not the strength of an album that obviously Back in Black was. And I don't know that you can do Back in Black 2. But it just, I think the pressure hit them then. The easy stuff got over because I think what happened, this is my opinion, the finished lyrical stuff was, they took and put all that on Back in Black. When they got to For Those About to Rock, I think that song was probably pretty close to being there. They just put the music with it. Probably already had some of that. I think it's a leftover a little bit. I think they had to get an album out. They had to move. That's my opinion. But as they moved through the album, that's why they wanted Mutt gone. They were running out of ideas. They were struggling on that album. And Mutt's a perfectionist. He's like, push, let's go. He ain't got time for all that. He's slow, but he wants quality. And I think they were having trouble with that. My opinion. Flick of the Switch, rocks like Brian Era Power album. I do like Flick of the Switch. Pretty cool album cover too. What about the later stuff? Rock or Bust? Wasn't that one of the last ones they did? I know it wasn't the last one. I thought that it was better. I'd say it was a little, nothing really stood out. It was kind of the same from front to back, my opinion. But some of that was okay. It was certainly better than the mid 80s stuff. Oh my gosh. I mean, hardcore AC/DC fans are going to follow them no matter what, but they got dealt a bad blow on some of those songs. You saw the Rock or Bust tour? Cool. I think that would have been a good one to see. Was that before Malcolm passed? Was he still on that tour, or was that after he got sick? I can't remember. I think he was on that tour, right? I never saw him in concert, by the way. Let me make a disclaimer there. Their latest is the best they have made in a long time. And I've heard good things. I give them credit. Hey, man, go do your thing. Make music, make money, do it as long as you can. I'm all good with that. I mean, who's to say? It's your life. It's your dream. Go for it. I mean, the Who was singing in their 80s. My gosh, the Rolling Stones. It's not bad. It's not as good, but who would be? They got all that flowing through their fingers, man. It's all there. Sometimes it's a little stiffer. Everybody slows down a little bit. You can't do what you used to do, but you tune down a half step and go. And some bands do use backing tracks and vocals and stuff. Some bands claim they never have. I'll take them at their word. I think it's pretty evident who does and who doesn't. A lot of them use echoes, and you got to cover up a lot. Vince Neil, hey, by the way, Vince Neil's doing better. He got bad, but the stroke, and I didn't know what all he was going through. But his latest stuff, that show they did on, it's like a one-off show. That wasn't bad. I watched that on, I guess, YouTube. That wasn't bad. You saw them with Axel that canceled when Brian's hearing went, yeah, Atlanta was be the next show. I used that tick to get in. Okay. And I've used that story. You know how he lost his hearing? Do you know that part of the story? How Brian lost his hearing? Now he has since got back through technology. He's okay. I don't think it'll be great, but he's okay. But do you know how he lost his hearing? It cost him his job. Pretty fascinating. Coffee is awesome, Jake. He lost it in a race car. He forgot to put his hearing protection in. He just went with it and blowed his eardrums out. Amazing. Well, Jake, we'll just have to make sure you get some. Yeah, racing. That's right. Watchman, me and you lined up pretty well on this. We really are. We got a lot of the same things. So, who's your favorite band, by the way? Any of you? Watchman or Jake, Mr. Sherbert, Anthony, whoever's still in here. Rob got sick, had to bail out, and I'm actually over. I got talking about music. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. So, the Gaither Vocal Band, awesome. Love their stuff, my man. AC is your favorite. Cool. Radiohead's up there for Mr. Sherbert. I've heard some of their stuff. Good stuff. It's all cool. I don't know if Anthony's still out there. Anthony seemed like he was in the Iron Maiden and Dio, which that's okay. That's okay. Are you a fan of Steve Harris's bass playing, by the way? Who was my bass player? Mr. Sherbert, was that you? Were you a fan of the Steve Harris style of playing bass in Iron Maiden, if you know who they are? Very, yeah, Jake, we'll get her together, man, the next week, I promise. For rock, it's what I like growing up, distilled down into heavy shot. Don't know who Iron Maiden is. Okay. Well, I really like Steve Harris's bass playing in Iron Maiden. Of course, he has a side project too, which is pretty dang good, to be honest. I mean, it's a pretty good stuff. I just went blank on the name of it. What do I think about Dick Cheney passing away? Well, first of all, I hate seeing anybody die. He'll forever be remembered as the guy who shot a friend and a warmonger and stuff. He's not very well liked by a lot of people. I won't say I was ever really a fan of Dick Cheney, and I'm a conservative, but God rest his soul and his family. He's passed on. Geezer Butler is your favorite bassist, Geezer. Yeah. Geezer. Boy, we got, that's what I love about the music show. We can break this down. We can talk about bands, and we can go back and talk about individuals. Another show that, and I've got enough shows to last until I die, but the dynamic of Ozzy in Black Sabbath, and then that stepping out because he was fired, he had to, and how he dominated like he did. I mean, that's a rare thing. That is a rare thing for a guy to be fired and come back that strong. And those first two albums with Randy, wow. But J.K. Lee, let's give him props too. Brad Gillis, and of course Zakk Wylde. I saw Zakk Wylde with Ozzy. One of the last shows I ever went to. Been a long time. In Knoxville, Tennessee, with Alice in Chains and Suicidal Tendencies. And I'm not a fan of Suicidal Tendencies. I watched. I did like Alice in Chains. Lane Staley broken foot or something in a wheelchair during the show. But I really enjoyed watching Zakk Wylde. And while I'm watching the show, I've said this before, and I know I'm name dropping. I was on the side. I don't like to be out there where they're, mosh pit and all that. That's not me. I just wanted to watch the artist. And so I'm over there on the side, and that's where a lot of the guitar players hung out. Well, I got kind of bumped into. What happens at a concert? I wasn't mad about it. It was fine. You could tell it's like a shoulder bump because he was watching Zach. And it was kind of like this side because he kind of bumped me, and we're sort of turned and looking up at Zach. He's playing above us on top of a speaker well or something. It's part of the stage, but the speaker's but he is just ripping it. And he got bumped, and I look back, and of course you can't hear a thing, except the playing. And he was, basically like, "I'm sorry." And I'm like, "It's okay. We got all those signals." And it hit me. It took me like 2 seconds to realize who bumped into me, and it was the guitar player for Soundgarden. I can't think of his name right now. I know it. I'm old, man. I can't think of names anymore. But that's who it was. And I went, "Oh my goodness." He's a fan too. And I don't know if they were playing in the area or he was traveling through, or I don't know. But he was at that show. Oh. That's due to Bob Daisley. Without him, we wouldn't be talking about Ozzy. Yeah. Ozzy was pretty fortunate to have a lot of really good players come along. Yeah. And I really do got to get off here in a minute. But if you've listened to, you're a fan of J.K. Lee, you know this story. It's a shame what they did to him. And he doesn't really hold a grudge. He should. Maybe that's not right of me to say holding a grudge, but they need to pay the man. They ripped him off. They got him over in the middle of nowhere, some studio, and everything that he pretty much came up with, they forced him to give a lot of the rights over to Ozzy, or they weren't going to pay for his plane ticket home. They were just going to leave him, like, you're fired. They played hardball with him. That's true. And I don't know the exact details of that meeting, but they were known for letting Ozzy say one word and he would get full songwriting credits and stuff like that. That's pretty well known. I'm not attacking Ozzy. God rest his soul too. Sharon is Sharon. Sharon. Oh man, that was a good show. The sound was good. Ozzy was in rare form. They covered the full spectrum, and Zach can play anything. And I think who was the bass player on that tour? Was that the dude that's in Last in Line now? What is his name? I think he might have been the bass. Am I wrong? Because Sarzo left. He just too broken up about Randy. And wasn't it that guy? Jake was talking about how he can hear Bob Daisley parts. He wrote the parts between Randy's riffs and solos. Bob wrote the lyrics and music. What is that guy's name? Not Dio. I'm talking about the bass player. He was, what is that guy's name? Not Rudy. I like Rudy, by the way. Rudy's book, Off the Rails. If you want to read a great book about Randy, it's a great book. Funny, sad, crazy. Goes all the way back to the Quiet Riot days. That's another band I'd like to cover. And isn't it amazing that Quiet Riot became a big hit after losing Randy and Sarzo, because Ozzy pulled him. And Kevin DuBrow, he wasn't too happy about that, but he bounced back pretty well, I'd say. You met Rudy Sarzo. He was playing in Ingwe. He's super cool, real dude. I believe that. And listen, this guy's from Cuba. And if anybody understands how great it is to be an American, he is. And he understands communism as well. And I've read his thoughts on that. He's a big animal lover, too. Big in the Humane Society. He loves the pets. Maybe I'll call him up and get him on the pet show. I gotta get off here. Y'all gonna keep me talking all night long, and I gotta help my wife get into bed, say good nights and all that. Friday night's a long night for us, but I seen Quiet Riot at a club. It is a good book. In Chattanooga, I think it's called Mindbenders. And we got there early. It was $10 to get in. He is a Christian. Yes, he is. A really nice guy. He played in the American, I cannot think of nothing tonight. He played with them for a long time. What? Oh, man, help me out here. But anyway, get back to my story before I forget it. I was at this club, and there's Kevin DuBrow, Sarzo's brother. I guess it's his brother, right? And the rest of the band. I can't remember the rest of them. And we got to hear the sound check. And they had drove in on a bus. And this is obviously a few years after the heyday. And I enjoyed the fact that I got to see them. But it was a tough time for rock. And I thought, how sad. They do at least have one bus. Everybody was on that bus, the crew and all. But they're hitting small clubs for the $10 cover charge. They couldn't have made, everything on that cover went to them. I bet they didn't make $2,000. I don't know if they made that much. Maybe they did. Maybe they put a kicker in there. And, that's not much. You're playing every night somewhere, and you got to pay all these people and taxes and gas and all that. I thought, how sad. They were on top of the game at one time. That's the way it goes, though. That's the way it goes. Hey, we could talk all night, but y'all, we definitely you're going to have to. I try to do the music show on Tuesday nights after the pet show. Definitely come back and share your stories. I have tickets at one on 96 Rock. Oh, man, 96 Rock. Oh, missed them. For Whitesnake with Rudy, Vi, Viv, Campbell, and they canceled the show. I had to arrange Kane to get them swapped for Bad Company. Them Yankee tickets front row. Hey, not bad switch, though. Pretty good. I saw Bad Company in Atlanta at the Starwood. Really good show. Really, really good show. I never saw Whitesnake either. That's another band I missed. There's like 3 bands that I missed that the rest of them, I don't care. I saw everybody I wanted to see, but Van Halen, AC/DC, Whitesnake. That's pretty much it. I saw everybody else. that I wanted to see. I've seen Damn Yankees. I've seen all that bad. That's a good show. It's not the show I saw. What Bad Company? It was Damn Yankees, and I can't remember who opened for them. That's the night about got my eardrum blown out, being real close to the speaker stack during a sound check. Dummy me. I gave like 6 tickets to guys about to go to Afghanistan. I won 10 tickets. Awesome, man. That's cool. That's really cool. But join us on. I try to do it Tuesdays at like 10. I give an hour between the pet show and there to get ready. So 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night music show. So look for me this Tuesday night, and we'll pick up and talk music, and we'll see where it goes. It's just fun to talk about. There's so many stories. There's a guy here in Chattanooga, by the way, that signed. He has a podcast. He goes on. I think he's on radio, but I'm sure it's a podcast too. Yeah, good deal, Mr. Sherbert. Have a great night. I'm going too. I gotta get off here. But he tells the stories about signing Guns N' Roses and all that. And, fascinating. I can't think of his name either. I'm going to have to get the name. I'll write the names down. But good night, Watchmen. Good night, everybody. All those watching all the channels, we've actually gained more, I think, than we started tonight. So we're at least covering some information that people like. But if you'd like to talk more about music, I do a show on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. And it's scheduled for an hour. It probably will end up being longer than that if people come in and are talking. But I try to cover a band each week or every 2. Some bands are going to be 2 weeks, but and you can't get everything. But I try to get as much as I can. And my memories, I'd like to get your memories as well. And we'll talk about all those things. And we'll do as much as we can for that. And then we'll move on to the next band. If you can, stop by. Love to talk to you. This is why I like podcasting. It's this right here. So music, I love it. It won't just be rock. It'll be all kinds of artists. So good night, everybody. God bless. Y'all pray for Rob. He's okay. He just had a tough time, and that's the life that he's trying to get help for. Y'all pray for him. They think they can help him get over some of those, not all, but some. And every little bit will help. And but we'll see you next time. Tomorrow, a couple of shows tomorrow. We'll be live on the street in Ringgold, me and Paul. And then maybe another show. Then I work and I got things to do. So see y'all. Have a great night. Oh, really? That would be cool. I think you're right. I think I heard something about that. Wolfgang in Atlanta. That'll be a big turnout. See y'all.